We are the group
3.
reporting about officiating officials in basketball.
"25 important things to know about basketball game officiating." Number 1. For all but few of us, officiating is an vocation, not our profession. Recognizing that will help keep your life in balance. It takes time, hard work, and study to become a successful official. 2. 90% of officiating is being a people person. Know how to handle people. Remember that listening is an important skill. 3. Officiating is seldom fair. Regardless of how much talent you possess and how hard you work, you won't always working the big games or move up the officiating ladder. 4. Keep players' safety number 1. The rule not only empower but also requires officials to penalize rough play. Don't make excuses. Even if you have the best possible excuse for making a mistake, the error won't be corrected because you have an alibi. 6. You have an obligation to hold yourself to a higher than normal ethical standards. How you comfort yourself away from the game is as important as how you act during the game. 7. Expect criticism and learn how to handle it. Most comments from spectators, players, and coaches should go in one ear and out the other. Granted, that's easier said than done. 8. Officiating builds skills for a lifetime. The qualities that make a great official are also the qualities that make a person good employee, spouse, parent, and friend. Teamwork, loyalty, sacrifice, study, decision-making, fair-mindedness, accountability, and honesty. 9. Never let your signals convey your emotions. Too many officials view false rules infractions as personal affronts. Instead of acting dispassionately, they allow their body language or voice to convey the pleasure. 10. Understand the intent of the rules, not just the rule. Knowing why a rule is needed will help you enforce it. In some cases, the intent is obvious, like player safety. 11. If you're going to blow the whistle, blow it hard. In almost every situation, in virtually every sport, the rules dictate that an official's whistle causes play to cease. Since that is the case, you might as well blow it hard. 12. Understand that you will make mistakes. Sometimes they are dreadful mistakes, but we must accept them as an environmental hazard in an avocation that calls for us to make a multitude of split decisions under very stressful conditions. 13. Don't criticize other officials. Under no circumstances should an official point out a peer's inadequacies or offer a negative opinion about another official to a coach or player.
The next is be professional. No matter the level, dress the part, act the part. In officiating, a book is judged by its cover. The next is know your role. So you are part of a bigger package. Don't showboat. When you need to sell a call, it's okay to give an emphatic signal. But actions designed to draw attention away from the players and onto official are unprofessional and unacceptable. The next is be prepared. So plan for the unexpected. Don't anticipate the call, anticipate the play. That sounds like a contradiction, but it's not. If you can feel what's coming and adjust your position or your visual focus to the right area, you'll see the play better and you'll have a much better opportunity to make the correct call. The next is continuing study is a requirement. How many times have you had to correct a partner who applies an outdated role? Good officials read the rule book often. The more often you read it, the more ingrained the rules will be in your mind. The next is body language will do you in a quicker than a lack of knowledge. So body language often speak louder than words. Even a correct call will cast doubt in the minds of participants if you don't appear decisive. You don't care who wins. One of the many sports myths accepted as fact is that the officials are predisposed to favor the home team. But an official should never use calls to favor either team for any reason. The next is you must have a reverence for the rules. So before you can understand the spirit behind the rules, you must have an appreciation for them. That does not necessarily mean knowing them verbatim. The next is always have a pre-game meeting. So officials must prepare themselves for the job ahead. Even if you work with the same partner or crew day after the day, a pre-game meeting provides valuable reminders about how certain situations will be handled. So the next is don't carry over feelings to the next game. It is crucial to treat each game as a new experience. If you work a game involving a player or coach, you've had to penalize or eject. Your demeanor and actions must convey the feeling that you've forgotten about it, even if they haven't. The next is remember where you came from. If you've achieved your goal, it's easy to forget what helped you reach that pinnacle. Few officials make it on their own. So the next is you referee who you are. Your officiating personality is driven by your everyday personality. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but remember that extremes are often detrimental in officiating. And the last is carry out your responsibility in a way that brings credibility to the officiating profession. So remember the saying that the best officiated game is one in which no one knows who officiated. It's bank, competent, professional, and impartial. That's all. Thank you.
Crow chief. The crow chief is the head official in a basketball game, who is responsible for making decisions in a game. The crow chief is the lead referee and acts as a captain of the group. Mainly, head coaches consult with the crow chief when they need an explanation of a call or have a complaint with a call. So, in other term or short term, the crow chief are basically to have the final say on any call in a game.
Ability of a crew chief. So the crew chief are basically to have a final say on any call in a game. So which is before the other three can make a decision, it will go first to the crew chief. So the crew chief will make the final decision on what particular foul or play in a particular game. So this is similar to the role of coach to a coordinator, as in both cases are one answer to another.
Referees' responsibilities in basketball games. Referees are responsible for interpreting the rule book and calling fouls and violations in basketball games. There are also referees that oversee statistics, scores, game clock, and shot clock, and when a player steps out of bounds. The main role of a referee is to make sure that the rules of the game they are officiating are being followed by all players. A referee will explain rules as needed and ensure that all participants understand these rules. Referees make calls regarding when these rules are broken and assist penalties.
What is umpire? Umpires are vital to playing a fair and safe game of basketball. They ensure all rules are being followed and make calls on fouls that could lead to injuries or put one team at severe disadvantage. So, an umpire is similar to a referee, but in a particular sports. In simple terms, an umpire is the one who will decide and give penalties to the players who don't abide by rules. Also, an umpire must have true understanding of rules of the game. When there is injury player caused by the opposing team, an umpire must decide to give foul to the opposing team.
As our responsibilities and duties. So the umpire will maintain standards of play at sporting events, ensures rules are followed, and determine penalties for infractions according to established regulations. So this is to make a fair game of both teams or players in which they will follow the rules of the game, what they are playing or in basketball.
What are the duties of the officials? So, the official, one of the duties of the officials in basketball game is the official shall prior to the start of the game inspect and approve all the equipments, including such as court, basket, balls, backboards, timers, and scorer equipment. The official also shall not permit players to play with any type of jewelry. The officials shall not permit a player to wear equipment which in their judgment is dangerous to their players. So the other duties of the basketball officials in a basketball game is to strictly implement the use of any foreign substance. So what is foreign substance? Foreign substance is any substance that is designed during the games to a player's body, uniform, equipment, and etc. that is designed or intended to provide a player with a competitive advantage. And the officials shall also check all the equipment used in appropriate basketball game. The equipment that is unnatural and designed to increase players' height to gain advantage shall not be used, and it must be confiscated by the basketball official.
Another duty is the officials must check the game rules if it is good to use and properly executed. Shall be the official in charge. The replay center official will make the final ruling on all replays except for flagrant fouls and altercation. Starting the basketball game, it will be mandatory for the officials to ask the other coach to be present during the discussion and interpretation of the rules.
If a coach desires to discuss a rule or interpretation of a rule prior to start of a game or between periods, it will be mandatory for the officials to ask the other coach to be present during discussion. The designated official shall toss the ball at the start of the game. The crew chief shall decide whether or not a goal count if officials disagree, and he shall decide matters upon which scores and times disagree.
Officials must report any atypical or unique incident to the basketball and referee operations department by email. Flagrant punching, fighting fouls, or a team's failure to have 8 players to begin the game must also be reported.